that's in the works. The third use case, which is lending part, whether other parts of the of your account will come or not. So today from the bank side, what is live is FDRD and savings. But having said that, this algorithm that we spoke about, right, it can analyze your bank statement and can figure out that which of these outgoes from your bank are going to service EMIs, going to service loans. From that we can triangulate and maybe come to that answer. It's not a straight answer today, but because bank statement mentioned the loan account servicing number and all of that, the bank statement analyzer is capable. And that's why when we showed that what are non-discretionary expenses and loan servicing is one of them, we are able to make that judgment and pass on that information. Sorry, somebody here? Please.
So for capital market use case, let's say as a HNI I have investment across multiple AMCs. So as a consent, is it like one by one, or I can give consent for all the fund houses together? That's one question. Second question for capital market again, what all kind of data I am getting? So I am getting only the holdings of the funds that I am having, or also I am having the transaction data, which can I utilize for calculating performance and all, and how historical data, and if let's say it's not there today, what is the timeline that we are seeing to get that kind of data? And third is, let's say I am investing through different distributor or advisor, but as my care statement, maybe that data is, I don't remember is there or not, but is there a way where I can find out that I have this much holding, but I have invested it through like this route, and that route?
Yeah. So I'll start with the second question, right? That what kind of data comes? So every FI type of financial entity type, 3 data parts are defined, right? One is called profile, which is basically profile information of the investor, your name, address, whether nominee is registered in your account or not, all of that. Second is summary, which basically gives you information about what is your investment, what is your current balance, and what has been your growth, returns, all of that. And the third is transaction, right, which is a row by row listing of entire transaction history done by you. The consent mechanism gives you the ability for the FIU, the information seeker, to define what is the period for which you want this data. And it also gives you the mechanism to ask that whether you want this data one time or you want it at a periodical fetch, and for how long, right? And as part of the consent, you also have to mention that why are you using this data and how long will you want to store this data, which is the data life concept, right? So to answer your question, all of that is possible. You will get access to transaction summary and entire row by row transaction for the investor, irrespective of the investor having transacted through any forum, right? So if an investor has transacted through 3 distributors, but with this one consent, the investor can give you access to all the investment done across distributors, right? The second or the first question that you asked, which is multiple consent part. Now we are exploring that. So when banks went live, usually an Indian investor has 2-3 bank accounts, but it is understood that in the capital market, specifically with mutual funds, an investor has invested across maybe 5-6 mutual funds, and so giving consent one by one for every mutual fund may become very cumbersome. So we are discussing with both Sehmati as well as our sector regulator on whether RTAs can be FIP gateways. So if the investor chooses, let's say investor has investment in 5 funds, wants to give consent only for 3, but all those 3 funds are serviced by one RTA, so can the consent be a single consent? We are discussing that, it is not confirmed yet, but we will maybe hopefully be able to reach there. I'm not sure, but we are trying to move in that direction. That was the third question.
Last question was distributed values.
Yeah. Yeah, so you will have access to everything, irrespective of from where the investor has done his investment, his or her investment.
Identifier of distributor or identifier of the distributor, not the bank. That was his question.
That is why.
Yeah.
It is your investment.
Yeah. So it
Gas,
It's a cash.
gas,
It's part of the profile.
no ARN number,
Part of the profile.
all of that. Correct. So that, I'm just going back to what Dave said. That we believe is part of this great data democratization, right? So today, whatever inefficiency exists in the advisory space, we believe this will be a great leveler, because whether you have gotten great advice or not, right, and whether you have invested in the right funds or not, and whether a distributor is better than the other distributor, the platforms will be able to show all of that in white light, right? And then the investor can make that choice, or an informed choice, on whether he or she wants to continue in that or wants to move. Yeah. Yeah, Anish is showing his watch. So thank you. Thanks for